Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm pretty much just starting off with kind of how to get started in the trucking world. I'm still going through it. I've made a lot of like ups and downs, still going through some mistakes now. But I have quite a bit of like some tips for you. So if you kind of see me looking down, it's because I'm on the load board. So right here now I'm on the load board, as you see here. So I'm pretty much just booking loads for my truck for today. So I dispatch my own truck. I have one 5-ton truck, 26 feet box. It's a single axle. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of give you a few tips that like I did to kind of get started. I'm currently in Toronto. My truck is based in Mississauga. So I kind of just wrote down a few things to kind of get started, just to kind of get you to know where to go, which direction. So here in Toronto, and before I start, like I find in Ontario or Canada in general on YouTube, a lot of people don't talk about like how to charge. They also don't talk about like what are the things to get. Everything I see on YouTube is just about the States. So I'm going to kind of give you a rundown on what to do here in Ontario. Canada in general is pretty much the same thing, but you might have different names of what they call it in different provinces. So here in Toronto, in order to have your truck on the road, you need to have a CVOR. So a CVOR is pretty much kind of like a driving record for a truck. So same thing how you would have it for a car. It's the same thing, but just for a truck. So if you get into an accident or anything, it will be on that record. Also, what would be on the record is like if you have like mechanical issues and all that stuff, like it's a rating, right? Satisfactory. So you want to make sure that you keep up to date with any maintenance and anything on your truck. Okay, so that's number one. So it's called a CVOR. So you could do it at I believe drive test is where I went. You have to study for it. It's an online exam like at the drive test in Ontario. Honestly, I failed it about, I'm not even gonna lie, like 4 times. And I literally, like, you can fail it, go back in line, and go back and take it. And that's what I did until I passed it. So I'm like, I'm not leaving here without it. So I just studied for probably like a couple days and then went to go write the test, literally. So it's easy. It's not that expensive. I think I probably paid like 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks maybe, or even cheaper to take the test. So it's really not that expensive. But that's one thing you need to have in order to have your truck on the road, because even if you go and buy a truck, you need to give them that CVOR in order for you to have your truck on the road. Then you need to have a corporation or have a business name in general. So it could be a sole proprietor or a corporation. My business is a corporation, so it's just like way more easier for you to do. So I would also get that started, because you will need that when you get started like on a load board, which is something that I'll go in another video. And then you also need to give it to wherever you're purchasing your truck or leasing your truck. You need that. So it's like proof that you do have an actual valid business. You also need to open a bank account. So you need to open a bank account. And in order for you to open a bank account, you need to have your corporation. So you definitely need those papers in the bank in order for you to open it. So that's like the third thing. So the first thing is a CVOR. Second thing you need to do is open a corporation. And then the third thing you need to do is open a bank account. Then the fourth thing on the list is insurance. So you need to get insurance. I'll tell you this right now off the bat. If you never driven a truck before and you have no truck experience, your insurance is going to be expensive. Like, it's going to be expensive. I'll say a minimum of like $2,000. Like, just give it to you raw. Like, it's really expensive. If you have a driver who has a lot of experience, then it will be cheaper. It could be like $400, $500. But if you don't, it's going to be about like $1,600 to $2,000. It will go down as the years go, but it's going to be that expensive. Try to go through like a broker. Therefore, like if you go through a broker, you can maybe try to like get in a couple dollars cheaper, but it's going to be that expensive. Just to give you guys a heads up. And you also need cargo insurance. So that's another thing too. It's still under insurance, but that's what you need to do. So another thing that you need to do is buy equipment for your truck. So you need a pump truck, which is called slash pallet jack. I bought mine off of Facebook Market because I'm a Facebook Market queen. So go on Facebook Market, you'll find people or businesses that are closing down or selling them for like $200. That's where I got mine from. You need it. You need it. It's like a must need. You also need to have a broom to kind of sweep off all that excess dirt off your truck to kind of keep your truck clean. It's also important to get straps. Straps are so important, or those bars is something I have to get next for my truck, but the straps are very important. And you also need DEF fluid for your truck, depending on which truck, but most trucks you need a DEF fluid. Another thing is that I find is important to get is a gas card. Give me 1 second. Sorry guys, I had to answer some emails because I get a lot of emails like all day from brokers. Okay, so another thing is a gas card. So I got a gas card, which I find is very helpful. You don't have to, but it kind of buys you time to kind of like make money and put it on. Do you know what I mean? Rather than like forking up. It really depends on like how much your truck is making, what your expenses are. All those things. I kind of had a rough patch starting my trucking business and still going through it a bit. So I just find the gas card really helps and is really essential to the trucking business. And it helps with your drivers too, right? They can just boom, go and just get gas. So I think that's like a really good, helpful thing. Getting contracts. So getting contracts from brokers is really important. With getting started because you need to pay your truck bills, right? So here in Canada, you can go on Indeed and just write, I just wrote like trucking jobs or broker jobs for trucks, and then owner and operator. So write owner and operator jobs, and you'll find so much brokers that'll come up that are looking for drivers. So what they do is they will hire you and they will give you loads to your truck. And then they'll pay you, they take out a cut, and the cut is really big. It's like 35%. So it is a lot. That's kind of why I started dispatching myself. Yes, I took a little bit of a cut, but in the end, in the long run, I'm making all the profits and proceeds myself. And I'm building up relationships with brokers myself. So that's one of the things why I kind of did it that way. You need to get an ELD. So ELD is pretty much like, it's a log book, but it's on a phone or device. So I am currently with a company called Axon Software, and we use like the Geo tab. So which kind of pretty much looks like this, if you can see. It's kind of a little blurry, but that's the app I use. So it shows me exactly where my trucker is at all times, where he is, if he stopped, if he's driving, all that jazz. So an ELD right now in Ontario is essential and you need it. They haven't enforced it to like the max, but they're starting to enforce it. So if you don't have it in your truck, it's going to be a ticket, and maybe like your truck cannot even be on the road. So you really need to get this ELD. Like I said, I'm with Axon Software. So if you do want to go with them, I'll leave the link below where you guys could click them, check them out. They're really not expensive. To sign up was probably about like $170. And then every month you pay like $36. So it's pretty cheap versus like all the other bigger companies that are charging a lot. So that's just another thing to look into. But the ELD is really important here in Canada. I know into Ontario right now, it's really important to have it. It's one of the new laws that kicked in as of January 1st. So, and to be honest, I just got mine like in my truck probably like 2 weeks ago. So and yeah, so applications and agreements. So I say applications and agreements because if you are hiring drivers, it's good to have an application where they can fill out, and agreements to make sure that everything's understood between you and your driver from the very start. It's very, very important. I can go more in detail in that in another video, but like agreements just quickly meaning like, you know, if cargo is damaged, how payments will come out, or, you know, stuff like making sure they check around the truck, like just certain agreements and applications that are very important and that are very clear between you and your driver as a company. Another thing I lastly put was get a driver and get your business going. Unless you are the owner and operator, then it's totally different. You don't need that one. But if you are hiring a driver like I did, I have 2 drivers and then I have one that's on call. So what I do is I just hire them and I literally just put a post on Indeed and boom, comes a flood of like resumes. So those are just the 10 things that you need to kind of get started on your trucking business here in Ontario. Nothing too crazy. I know it could be a long shot or maybe feel like a long shot, but it's really easier said than done. One thing I should add is also getting a truck. So it's not that hard. I got my truck at a place in Toronto, which is outside Toronto. It's called Foreign Express. Everybody is not like really big with them, or like they're not really big on that company, but you just have to have 5% down on whatever the truck cost is, which is not that much, like $5,000, and you can have your truck out tomorrow. So if you really want to get serious, it's really not that hard. It's simple and it's just easy to hurry up and get yourself going in the trucking world. So I know for some people, you might feel like, you know what, it's so hard. How can I afford a truck? How can I do this? It's not that expensive. You just need to know where to go and have connections and know like certain people in order to get started. But really and truly, Foreign Express, I'll leave their link also in the description below. But that's who you will go to get a truck. 5% down on whatever the truck costs are, and usually a 5-ton truck, 26 feet with a tailgate. Tailgate is so important to get on your truck. It's probably ranging around $50,000. So 5,000 down, you sign the paper, you have all the things that I've listed here that you need, which is your CVOR and your corporation. Those are the 2 things you need to get your truck out. That's all you need, and you're ready to go. That's it. It's not that hard. It's really simple. I really hope and wish for you guys the best. I definitely hope you guys get started in the trucking business. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. It is slow period right now, but it will pick up as March is coming. But it's really that simple. Just get it started and get it going. That's it. Love you guys. If you have any other questions, please let me know down below and I'll be happy to answer them, or I'll definitely be able to make another video giving you more information. I do want to make a video on how to charge, how does the rates go, how to communicate with brokers, how do you find brokers, what load board I use, how to use it, all those things I can simply teach you guys in the next video. It's really not that simple. Canada, like I said, is a bit different from the States. One thing I know is like in Quebec, if you do want to get started, instead of having a CVOR, you need an NIR. The reason why I know is because I'm from Montreal originally, but you need an NIR. So every province has their own that you need to get started, but that's all you need is that, a corporation, boom, you're ready to go. Like it's really that simple. So if you need anything else, any questions, just leave it in the down below. But I'll definitely be able to make some more videos for you guys and let you guys know more info on how to get going. Thanks. Bye.